Well, hello everybody out there. This is Garrett again with the 11 Bang Bang channel. Got up this morning, I read a little bit of news on the Alec Baldwin shooting where he claims that he did not pull the trigger on his Colt clone in order for it to go off and shoot somebody. Having been someone who's messed with many Colt clones and some original Colts in the past, I thought I would throw my 2 cents in on this. Alright, so as far as I can tell from what I've read on the internet, the gun that he was using was a Pieta. Now, almost all Pietas today are what we call 4-click hammers. Absolutely nothing in there. It's a good thing to check. If Mr. Baldwin had checked that before he went off and did what he did, he would have been in a lot less trouble himself. There is another version of the Pieta out there, but from the pictures I've seen, it was not it. The other version has no firing pin on the hammer. As you can see, this version has a firing pin on the hammer, and the gun he was using did, so it was almost positively a 4-click hammer. By the way, the 3-click hammers, they can't go off either. They have special built-in safety devices that keep them from going off. So the purpose of the 4-click hammer. Listen very closely here. I'll get it up by the microphone. First click, that was what they call the safety notch. A lot of people don't use it today, but originally it was designed to be carried this way with 6, and it would pull the firing pin back just enough that it did not touch the primer. A lot of people don't use it today because it is a little bit finicky. Alright, there's click 1. Click 2 is half cock. Not only is it a safety, it actually frees the cylinder up to spin so that you can load it. What that does is it drops what we call the bolt in here down so it doesn't engage these little squares back here. Now then, you're going to get another click before you get all the way back right there. That's click number 3, and what click number 3 does is raises the bolt back up. That's the bolt coming off the cam, and then click 4 is the hammer locking into position. Now everything is locked up and absolutely ready to fire. So the real question is, will this gun, even though it is a U-Birdie, it's pretty much identical to the Pieta in almost all ways, 4-click hammer, will it go off without the trigger pulled? Of course not. Not like that. Let's try it like he says, that he slipped his thumb off the hammer and it went off. Alright, I'm going to go to just the third click. Right there is the third click. We're not locked back with the hammer yet. Uh-oh. It caught on half cock. Let's try that again. 1 click, 2 click, 3 click, not locked yet, half cock. All the way back, I'm going to go ahead and dry fire this, all the way down. Now the thing is, the way these guns work, the front of the trigger engages, and I'm not going to take it apart for you right now, but the front of the trigger engages the sear on the hammer. In this 4-click gun, there are 3 grooves in the hammer for the sear to engage. The first one, the safety notch. Second one, half cock. Third one, full cock. Now, the way this trigger works is if the trigger is not pulled, every single time it will come in contact with that half cock safety. There's only one way that you can make a gun like this go off without pulling the trigger, and it's something they used to do in the old days called slip gunning, and that is to physically chop the front of the trigger off up here where it engages the sear. Now it can be broken, but you have to be extremely rough with it, like beat it with a hammer to break it. But in the old days, some people would chop the front of that trigger off, that way they could just fan, you know. And a lot of times when you see fanning on movies and stuff, they're literally holding the trigger down when they do it so that it will come back and engage the cartridge. Anyway, that's my thoughts on the Alec Baldwin shooting. As far as I can tell, unless the gun has physically been damaged, like extremely roughly damaged, because that half-cock notch is deep, and it would be very difficult to get that back there in that trigger, to get it broke off far enough for it to not engage the half-cock. It's designed for that to never happen. You might damage it enough that the first safety doesn't work because it's not as deep, but that half-cock notch is very difficult to get past. So here's the thing. He said he was practicing his drawing, and his thumb slipped off the hammer, the gun went off. There's not enough pressure back here at click number 3. Not enough pressure even close to break that hammer off. The only way it could have happened is if somebody threw it and it hit a rock, or somebody physically bashed it with a hammer, or somebody went in and physically cut the trigger so that it would happen. I think what actually happened was, of course, he cocked the hammer, and it is a very light trigger. He had his finger on the trigger and he pulled it. That's literally the only way that shooting could have happened. Unless there was, like I said, extreme negligence, which of course there was evidently, or somebody physically cut the front of the trigger off to make a slip gun. Anyway, that's my thoughts on that, guys. 1, 2, 3, not happening. Trust in God. Keep your powder dry. Bye.